Hey guys, you might hear birds, cats, dogs, people, grass cutting, weed whackers, who knows. Today I want to do something fun with you guys. One side of my rock is super bumpy and the other side is fairly smooth. So I'm obviously going to choose the smooth side to paint on today. Don't mind my nails. I've only finished 2 of them so far and didn't want to wait to do a tutorial. So I'm just going to sketch on, we're actually doing a little kitty face, a little rock kitty. I've had a lot of people ask me for a cat tutorial. They're not that easy. So I thought I would try and kind of work my way in and do little bits. So we're going to do just a little cat peeking. It's kind of like it's a magic cat peeking through a stone and you can only see part of it. So we're just going to be able to see its nose and its eyes. And I'm already making mistakes, so that's why I started using a pencil first instead of going right on it with paint. I'm not as comfortable. I've done quite a few cat portraits. You might have seen them on my Pinterest or my Instagram, even Facebook, but it's been a while. So I did paint something very similar to this on canvas for a custom order probably about 5 or 6 years ago. And the reason that it was requested is someone saw a tattoo like that, I believe, on Pinterest. So of course I looked them up and they are the cutest things in the world. So if you get the chance, take a look on Pinterest for cat face tattoos and they're absolutely adorable. Anyway, some of them, they have 2 different colored eyes. This one's gonna have one eye slightly different colored than the other one, but not a huge difference. It's just trying to make it look like the cat's face is turned a little bit, and I wanted some darker reflection in the one eye. But who knows how it's gonna look to you guys. I would love your opinions. And there's my darn notifications. Turning them down now. I apologize, guys. I honest to goodness, I've had not had enough coffee today, and as soon as I'm done posting this for you guys, I am going to relax with a coffee and just watch some Netflix maybe. So no matter what color your stone is, I suggest definitely priming your eye area in white so that the color comes through nice and bright. I'm also doing a light colored nose, a pink nose. So I'm also going to prime that area as well. So right now it kind of looks like a strange zombie cat rock. And I promise it'll start to look a little bit more like a cat very soon. So I have got my little blending brush here. Now I do have a tutorial on how I make my little blending brushes. They come in super handy at a time like this where there's a small spot that I need to sponge, but I don't have a sponge that small. So I am using Martha Stewart sponges for part of this. You do not have to use the same kind as me. Those are just the kind I have on hand. I also use Craft Smart sponges. Here is Vintage Tea Rose Pink. That's what color I'm doing the nose today. I do not have a pink nose cat. I have 3 cats, but not one of them has a pink nose. So I want a pink nose, darn it. So I'm just going to stick with my Vintage Tea Rose for that nose. And I'm going to lighten it a little bit with some white in some areas to kind of make it look like there's some shine to it, I guess. So all of my cats, one is tiger striped, one is, I think it's called tortoise shell. She's like so cute. She has like a half and half face, just adorable. And then there's my Max, which is, he is my baby. He is my big sucky baby, and he is a big black cat with bright green eyes, and he actually resembles Toothless the dragon. So you put a set of wings on that cat and he looks just like Toothless. So I'm going to do his eye color, but not his nose color because his nose is pure black. And yeah, I want a pink nose, darn it. So yeah. Back to the brushes, both my fine lining brush and this little blending brush that I'm using right now, I do have tutorials on. So if you want to learn how to make one of those before you make this rock, those links will be in the description, or you can just look up Rachel's Rocks fine lining brush or Rachel's Rocks blending brush. Super easy. You need a pair of scissors and you need some round tipped paintbrushes. So those will be in the description. So if you can see there, I'm just using a little bit of white and I'm lightening up just certain areas of the nose. I am going to outline it with a fine black line afterwards to just clean it up and set it apart from the stone. Right now I feel like that pink is slightly blending into the stone, so I want to separate that from the stone and outline it with black afterwards. That's optional. You decide what you want to do with your nose. And because the cat is turned slightly, in my vision, in what my head is telling me to paint, his face is slightly turned, so you can only see a little bit of the side of one nostril here, and that's going to be on the right. So not his right nostril, our right nostril. not its right, our right. So you can see that I've kind of shaded it in, and I will darken that a little bit more a little bit later. But you can see right here where I'm kind of outlining where that nostril would be if this were a real cat. And this might not look right to you. That's why you get to decide what you want to do. But anyway, that's the cute little pink nose. Still looks like a zombie cat, so we really need to work on this. I hope everyone is doing wonderfully. I'm going to be using a nice bright lime green for its eyes, and I'm also going to mix in a little bit of bright green. You're going to see this a couple times. I dropped my paint bottle and then I wanted to show it to you again together. There you go. So I'm going to be just kind of adding a little bit of that darker green up above. And yes, there will be gold in this. You might not think that there's gold in this, but I do add a little bit of gold a little bit later. I couldn't live without it. So I'm doing the best I can, guys. This might look really strange to you. You might not see this. This might not be something that you're interested in doing, or you might not understand the illusion of it all. I just thought it was cute and fun, and it looks cute sitting in a pile of rocks, as you can see by the thumbnail of this video. It just looks adorable. You'll see it a little bit better at the end of the video. Just mixed in with a bunch of rocks. Looks super cool and would definitely make somebody kind of stop in their tracks and go, whoa, what is that? So as you can see, I did do the whole eyeball in the lime green with a sponge. I outlined it with a fine lining brush first so I don't get it all over the place. Try and stay within the lines because we can't really fix it if we go out of the lines, especially on a light colored rock that's pitted and bumpy. I'm not going to be able to erase my mistakes very easily. So I'm trying to stay within the lines, and I'm going to try and do close to the same thing. The eye color's a little bit different on this right eye that I'm working on now, or the cat's left eye. Ugh, too confusing. So I'm doing the same thing, outline it with the light green or lime green, and then I'm squishing it down with a sponge. You can use any kind of sponge. If you have like a little makeup sponge or anything. Like these are like little bingo dauber tips. So whoever came up with bingo daubers probably had a hand in making these as well, because they're basically the same thing, only no ink comes out. It's just on a little plastic stick. There's a little sponge at the end of a stick, and it comes with a bunch of different sizes. CraftSmart, like I mentioned earlier, does make them as well on wooden sticks. Mine are a mess. I've had them for ages. They last a long time as long as you rinse them out after every use. Like, don't let paint dry on your sponges or they're no good anymore. So as soon as I'm done using it, I throw it into a cup of hot water, and yeah, then I just go rinse them out when I'm done, and they're ready to go. Sit them on a towel and let them dry for next time. So I have lightened some of that light lime green with some white in some areas, just a little bit, not too much. And I'm actually going to add a little bit of gold now. So I'm sponging off most of it. I don't want a big glob of gold. I just want a very small amount of gold, because I just kind of want to highlight the eyes to make them look a little bit more cat-like. So there's just a little gold sheen over top of that green, looking a little less zombie-like, but we will put some pupils in very soon. Now you can choose to do like little crocodile slivers or whatever. I think my cat looks the cutest and the most mischievous when his all of them, when all of their pupils are round. So I'm going to do round pupils on this one. So first I am going to take my fine lining brush and some black paint, and I am going to do a nice line. It's going to be thicker up top than it is on the bottom. Just want to outline my eyes. Let that green and gold dry. I do have some pits in the one eye, but I'm not even going to notice that when we're done. And I hope nobody else does either. So I'm going to work on this to make sure that my eye's not all wonky shaped. And sometimes it doesn't work out the first time you do this. Sometimes it's really hard. That's why I like to use pencil at first, so that I know where I want everything to be, and I can kind of see it in my mind, how I want it to look, and then it's great. Sometimes the shape of the rock really helps with the face. I'm probably not going to resin this one. I don't want it to be shiny. I'm probably just going to use like a matte coat of DuraClear matte. You can buy it at Michael's or probably any craft store, Hobby Lobby, stuff like that. But it's just a matte coat so that nothing is shiny, and it doesn't darken my rock as much when I use a matte coat. So I'm just making sure that everything's outlined. The eyes are not perfect. The head is turned slightly on my vision, the vision of my cat. So try and follow me with this and see if you can see it. Let me know if you can see it in the description, or in the comments, not in the description. Jeez. You guys, I just got back from the beach. Had an amazing time at the beach with my boys. We got a big raft, it's like a party island type of situation. 4 of us floating around on Lake Superior for a little while. It was really, really nice. We stayed close to shore because it was hot, but if just in case we wanted to get out of the sun for a bit, we stayed pretty close to shore. But it was great. The water was amazing. The weather was awesome. My son actually got to have a chipmunk come right over and take grapes right from his foot, like right on top of his feet. So it was a really cool experience for him as well. And my older son, who's 15, basically sat there at the campsite with grapes in his hand the whole time. It was really exciting for both of my kids. So now we are going to do, now that I've outlined my eyeballs, I'm going to use a sponge. And I am going to try and line up some pupils. But I'm going to make sure there's not a big glob of paint. I always sponge off my excess paint as much as possible. If you have way too much, sponge it off on a towel. I keep a paint towel on my lap for that reason. So I'm going to make some big round pupils. And I can adjust the size, and I can go around with my fine lining brush as well once I'm finished. And I do fix it a couple of times until I'm happy with it. So that's all you got to do. Keep fixing. Just don't get it outside the lines. You can go back in and prime your whole eyeball again if you really mess up. You can just prime the whole thing again and say, I have some fixing to do with those pupils because, you know, they're not the same size and they're oddly shaped and stuff like that. So, but yeah, this is basically what my cat Max's eyes look like. And he's black and he is like silk. He's so shiny and smooth. And I swear when he looks at me sometimes, it's toothless right away. So I'm going to keep adjusting until I have these eyes similar at least. At least I feel like there might be a cat looking at me at one point. And then we'll put some shine to the eye as well so it looks a little shiny. Bring the life into it. So yeah, I've had a nice vacation, but I feel like I could use more. After my kids being home from school since March 13th, and no interaction with anyone else up until 2 weeks ago. And now we are only allowing my kids to go to Grandma and Grandpa's house. Just my husband's on my husband's side. So that's it. I've been with my kids a lot. And I think I'm still going crazy from it. Although now the school has, homeschooling is paused until at least September if they don't go back to school. Who knows? We shall see. So as you can see, I'm watering down some black paint there. I watered it right down because I'm actually just going to do a little bit of shading. So I've taken my little blending brush and I've mixed a little bit of water with a little bit of black paint. So it's very, very thin black paint. And now I'm just kind of smudging it along, and you'll see it change. It's gonna lighten up a little bit. It won't be so bold once it's dry, but it'll still be noticeable. So make sure you're doing this on a lighter colored rock. It would be much easier to do it on a lighter colored rock so that you do see this technique easily. If you're on a dark rock, you're not going to see any shading whatsoever. So either use a rock that is primed white and then do it, or use a light colored stone like this one. Even this one, if I am to seal it, it is going to darken a little bit, but I still want to be able to see some of the shading that I've done. Now the eyes are not going to be perfect, guys. They're not going to be completely symmetrical. I'm not a realistic painter. So, if you're going to be mean, please remember that I'm probably going to delete your comment because I do not accept any kind of rudeness on my channel. I don't know if you guys have noticed that this channel is drama free. And it makes me very happy to be able to say that. So if this is your happy place at times, trust me, this is my happy place. And I keep it happy and safe. So if you're new here, welcome. If you're not so new, I'm glad you're still here. And I appreciate all of you. Thank you so much for coming back time after time. So you might not be able to see, obviously it's out of your view, but I'm doing a little bit of shading under the nose as well, just around the side and just under the little side there that the nostril is showing. I did a little bit more shading there as well. But you can see it's starting to dry. The shading is starting to dry a little bit, and it's not as dark, not as bold. So I've done the same thing with my water and my white. I've watered it down slightly, and I'm doing just a little shine on the eyes. ignore where the pupil ends and the green part begins. Go right over it. It's a shine on the eye. Go right over it. There's no separation there on a cat's eyes. So the gleam goes right across the top, if you know what I mean. So guys, it's almost done. I think that it's adorable. I think it will definitely get someone's attention if you want to surprise people, get them to walk past your garden and see that. It's adorable. You can add whiskers, you can add a little bit of a mouth, you can paint fur on it and do the rest. I've got you this far. Don't say I never gave you anything. What do you guys think? Aw, super cute. Super cute. Like I said, I'm probably not going to resin this one because I don't want the shiny effect to take away from the rock itself. Woohoo! But yeah, it's going to look adorable. See, with all these rocks, it just looks so cute. I did not place those rocks up there to look like ears. It just turned out that way. I love you guys. Thank you so much for being a part of my channel. Don't forget to hit subscribe. I guess some people have noticed some subscribers have left their channel, but not due to them. It's due to YouTube making mistakes. So make sure you've hit the subscribe button. Love you guys. Bye.